over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonet's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and good morning and welcome into halftime. This is a glorious Thursday to be doing sports radio, and it feels just a little bit different today on January the 23rd than it had since 2024. Thanks for tuning in today. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson with my partner Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston is producing. And, man, Matt, what could be different today? What could it be? Could it be a Razorback basketball victory? How about getting that one done? No more offers, something to celebrate, and a comeback win against a pretty good basketball team at that.
Man, happy Victory Thursday. Yeah, it took us a little while to get in the victory column, but hey, man, we're welcome. We got a seat at the table now. We're here. It starts, too, by protecting your home court. Man, couldn't be more proud of this team, Phil. They put it together and finally found a way to get a W. Good for them, man. And that's we talked about. It starts with one. You get one, something to build on. And, man, you kind of get that monkey off your back. You kind of, relief and let's get back to work. And you kind of get that taste in your mouth and you like it. So let's go, man. OU's next.
Could not have blamed anybody for kind of thinking, same old story, same old game we've seen before. After the first half, you're down 15 and still end up trailing double digits for a good chunk of the second half. But, man, a lot of energy. And, Matt, I got to tell you, there were 6 SEC games over the last previous 2 days. Only one of them did the winning team score over 70 points. That was Alabama with 103 on Tuesday. And this is just the way that it gets done in the SEC for the time being. And I think this is the way that Arkansas wins some games in the future, too. Now, I don't know if you're going to get to the foul line 34 times on a consistent basis. But that's where they won the game yesterday. Rebounded well enough, took care of the ball well enough, and got to the foul line a ton. Good thing they could shoot from 15 feet away because behind the arc wasn't really pretty. And, look, I don't care if it was a pretty game or not. Do you? The only thing that matters is more points than your opponent. Grind them down, and I think that might be how you get it done for right now.
Well, Carter Knox, I was talking to the unit before we came on today, and he was impressed with him. I was too. He's a young kid that is playing the 4 spot, and he's going to have to grow up quick if he's going to be playing 30, 34 minutes a game. He was dynamite at the free throw line, got some big rebounds. He's athletic. He's just a baby. That's man, he's going to be so much better next year. Kind of think Jordan Walsh a little bit. Like he can kind of do some of those things. An undersized, love his game. Thiero, we were talking, Phil, that remember when Ricky Council did that a couple years ago at the free and then spun real quick and kind of just he's the best athlete on the floor.
You can't help but think, how do you not put your body on the free throw shooter with 1.7 seconds left, and if he misses it and you grab the rebound, who knows what can happen after that? It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And good for Thiero for not giving up on the shot and putting a finish on it. And, I mean, even if he grabs the rebound and walks away, you get the win, but you got to cover with that bucket, too. It went from it was a 1.5 point spread, Matt, and that bucket went from 1 to 3, so it was a double win for those who took Arkansas -1.5.
Yeah, he was fastest to react. DJ Wagner reminds me so much of Marcus Smart from Oklahoma State that went on to play for Boston, and then they got traded before they went on that championship run. But he's always on the ground, like he's a pit bull out there, man. He's a dog. I love his game. You'd like to get him to be a little more efficient. But the way he plays, the style he plays out there, I do, man. I think he's only going to get better, and I think he will get a little more efficient as he settles in as well.
I played the full 20 minutes in the second half. It's like if you can do one thing as a freshman, if you got a lot to learn about the game, you can bust your ass. Mm-hmm. You can hustle. You can dive after loose balls. You can go after rebounds, and he did everything that you needed to do, which included getting to the free throw line and making your free throws.
85% as a team.
And Knox going 11 out of 13. Yeah. So I mean, you look at the guys who really won the game for you here. It's Thero and Knox. Wagner, though, is the point guard now, Matt. I mean, he's the guy that's bringing it up, and not just as to dish. You could see they were trying to get him to drive and get to the rim and get to the free throw line as well. And he didn't really get to the free throw line very much because it was Knox. But at least against Georgia, the idea was let the guards drive, see if Nelly's going to hit some outside shots. Didn't really happen. There were a lot of open looks. And who knows, Matt, maybe at some point some of those shots begin to fall and you're not down by 15 in the first half like they were yesterday. And maybe they will. I think at some point, like it looked to me like Davis was shooting with confidence. I mean, really, it's just a little bit too long. How many times did that shot hit the back of the iron and then go strong like the other direction, another 10 to 15 feet? Just a little bit of a tweak, it felt like, with Davis. Hopefully you get that tweak, and then a 3-point win at home might be something like an 8 to 9 or 10-point win at home. It isn't so dramatic.
We did rebound better, but I don't understand how you can't be shooting so good and then they'll shoot it and then they start falling back and looking at it. It's like, go follow your shot. You know, like everybody's just standing there. It's like we shoot 12% from the 3-point line. What do y'all think it's going in? It's not going in. I think of guys like J.J. Barea, if you remember him, J.J. Redick. Guy, if they miss a couple threes, you know what they do? They just follow their shot. Keep following your shot. Instead, we do that a lot where we'll just watch the ball go, and then once it hits the rim, then we react instead of reacting ahead of time. And still, transition defense, we got to work on that. But I'll tell you this, Phil, it's a lot more fun to watch film after a victory, and you can still go and work on your mistakes and try to get better. Because, still going to have to make better shots. But if we would have got out-rebounded by 10, we wouldn't have won this game. And we out-rebounded Georgia by 10.
You know, and I feel when it comes to the discussion of whether it was a pretty win and the aesthetics of it and everything, I mean, that's a broadcaster thing. That's a fan thing. I don't think anybody in that locker room or John Calipari cares how ugly of a win it was. Because for a team that hadn't won a game in 2025, I mean, if it was 1-0, you'd have been pretty happy with that. And maybe that'll be a final score at some point in the SEC. I mean, look at these final scores right now. I'm just a little bit surprised. And this isn't a bad thing, because what this means is that there are some teams in this league that can flat out play some defense. Florida wins with 70 at South Carolina, coming from way back yesterday. A&M wins with 63 at Ole Miss. I mean, maybe that's the style of game A&M has played for a while under Buzz. Tennessee wins with 68. Texas 61 for a win. I mean, it's like a race to 60 in the SEC. It's just Alabama with 103 against Vanderbilt Tuesday. The only team that literally the only team in the SEC that won a game in the midweek that scored more than 71 points. So maybe this plays in a little bit to a team that's without their point guard for the foreseeable future. Boogie Fland had the thumb surgery yesterday, Matt. It's a UCL tear, so it's not a broken thumb. Anything with a ligament to me is something that feels like it could be a little bit more serious. And you really can't question Boogie's desire to at least play, because according to Cal, he played 2 games that the doctor said he shouldn't have even played, which means it would have been in massive amounts of pain. And now that this surgery occurs, heading into the last week of January, you got, the word is indefinite, but I don't know how quickly somebody can come back from that kind of surgery, considering basketball and you're a point guard, you need your hands.
Well, you remember Kyrie Irving did it years ago. It was a different injury, but he had to sit out, and then he came back for the tournament. And we see it. It's just hard to keep your legs under you when everybody's still playing. And man, you just hope the best for Boogie. You hope that they got it early enough and that he has 100% full recovery, because he does have a lot of talent, and he's got a lot of basketball left to play.
Well, we've got a lot of show left to do here on Halftime today, and here's what we got going on for you on a Thursday. Brett Dolan at 1:15. We'll touch on a little bit of the Arkansas baseball team, which, of course, opening day is 3 weeks and 1 day away. A lot on basketball and NFL playoffs coming up over the weekend. And Dudley Dawson, Hogville, heavy into the basketball team in about an hour. So we are wide open in hour number one for you. If you want to get on with us, it's 877-377-6963 for calls and for texts on halftime. So quick break. We'll get more into this basketball game in just a moment. Stay with us.
When Matt Jones and Houston Nutt teams were playing back in the day, if those guys had 4 wins on their record at the end of the season, they still got in there and they beat the tar out of everybody.
This is Halftime.
I tell you what, I know this. Got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, we're the best team in the country today. And it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy, the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
In your wet dream, driving in my car, saw you at the side of the road. There's no one else around. You're touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself. You said, baby, do you want to come home with me? I got Buffalo 66 on DVD. You said, baby, do you want to come home with me? I got Buffalo 66 on DVD.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime here, 877-377-6963 to get with us. Let's hear from some post-game sound here from John Calipari. First on the team not giving up.
These guys have fought all year. They have not given up on any game. They just haven't.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. You want to question the effort? I questioned yesterday whether or not they have shown up expecting to win a basketball game. I don't know about effort necessarily, if that's the question. And here's the other thing, too. To those that have questioned their buy-in or whether or not, they care very much about the outcomes of the games. Do you see? What about the celebration afterwards? I mean, it's one win. It's just one win. There was a dramatic moment, too, to celebrate at the very end. But, man, Matt, that looked like a team that cares and looked like a team that would like to try to turn this win into a spark. Because that's always the feeling is, if you got a long losing streak, sometimes it just takes one little thing to open the door and hopefully the ball starts rolling downhill.
Yeah, I mean, it takes one, and to your point, not one time have I questioned their effort. I don't think Coach Cal. I mean, I haven't been around too many coaches in my life. I mean, I've been around a lot of coaches in my life, but not too many of them that if you don't give effort, you're not going to play. I don't care what it is. What I don't care what your mama looks like. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't know. Don't have her calling me because I've already met her. It's like it doesn't matter if you don't give effort. You're not going to. So this team, they have effort. They're just learning how to play together. They're learning how to play defense. They're learning how to communicate. They're learning how to battle. The other thing is, though, we got to shoot the ball better, bro. Like, I don't know what the thing is with this team and shooting the ball, but what were we, 15% from the three-point line?
3 for 23.
That's not going to get it done.
And look, that's the thing that's just kind of, I guess, surprising when it comes to shooting. And I can appreciate the idea that nobody's defending you when you're at the free throw line and it's a lot closer than the three-point line. There were a lot of open threes. I mean, they got open three-point looks for Janelle Davis, and they just did not fall. Wagner, I don't know how much of an outside shot there is from DJ. I like him being able to try to get to the rim. But yes, you're right. Even in the second half, when you're mounting this giant comeback, 22 made free throws and just 2 3-pointers. So maybe it's just not going to be a team that does shoot well. The one guy that it's like, and I'm like harping on this over and over again, the one guy that can and has shown, certainly last year at least, that he can be a threat from the outside, and they were looking to get to him yesterday, and I thought they got it to him successfully, was Nelly Davis. I also think, Matt, like Davis deserves credit for defending really well and helping to distribute. Without shooting well. I mean, he didn't like hang his head and not care much because his shot wasn't falling. He went out and played defense.
Their coach called a timeout with about 60 seconds left or so, and you know what happened? Their point guard's dribbling up and makes a bounce pass, and Nelly's guarding the ball and steals the ball. You're right. That was one of the best defense. Then Coach Cal calls a timeout, and we end up winning this thing. But that's what Nelly's got to do is be, and that's what all of them have to be dogs on the defensive end. That's not a surprise. I did like that he attacked a little bit. He didn't just. I mean, he was still shot 10 3-pointers, but. Golly, yeah, he's got to hit some shots. They all do. We all got to continue just to work on it, improve on it. But I was really impressed with their free throw percentage. That's big time right there to go 29 of 34.
You know, it's kind of funny to think about this. Now, I don't have the team stats in front of me, so I don't know what Nelly is shooting from 3-point land. But you know what's going on right now, and the fact that he is defending well enough. If you're open, I don't care if these things have been falling. Because I would like to think that sooner or later they will start falling. Just keep shooting it. Don't force it. But if you're open and it's there, go for it. That's a guy that came in to have the green light and should have the green light because right now nobody else is going to be able to do it from the outside. And at some point, that thing's going to start falling. Here's Adu Thero on finally getting an SEC win.
Feels good to finally get a dub in the SEC. We struggled first couple of weeks. On the court and off the court, you know, it wasn't nothing like we were just on the court. We'd get, you know, onto the court and then we start feeling all the pressure and everything. You know, guys had to feel pressure, you know, off the court too, just shutting everything out, staying as one. You know, that really helped. And, you know, we went out there and played together tonight.
I thought they did. I thought they played great team defense. And again, I thought they moved the ball well. Just the shots weren't falling very much. And, you know, to be so good on the offensive glass, well, those are shots that should fall. You grab an offensive rebound, stick it back like Carter Knox did for a chance at an and one late in the second half. That's something that you can do that takes really, what is it? It's effort. It's want to. And I saw a lot of want to last night.
Well, they did, and Georgia's best player, they had a little guard that's pretty good, but that number 14, they got Asa Noel, that true freshman. That's who I'd offer him a bag before he got on the plane to go back to Athens. That dude can play. That's a big dude that's going. You look at his skill set and how he plays. That has NBA written all over it. That dude, that's who I'd want. I mean, he's an absolute stud.
877-377-6963 to get with this. Here was post-game Cal talking about Boogie surgery.
Surgery went well. Doc couldn't believe when he went in there. It was a little worse than they thought. Could not believe he played 2 games with that thumb. Could not believe it. Kid still wanted to play. He could not move, which is why we did it, and he wanted to go get it, and I'm happy for him.
We're conditioned from I think from good experience over the last 2 years to be skeptical about injuries for very talented freshmen, and you wonder if it's a real thing. But this was a real thing with Boogie. I don't think it's anything quite like we've seen over the previous 2 years. And that's a guy I think that's taking some pride in what he is, and what I think in pride in being a Razorback at the same time. So that also tells me, Matt, I mean, the kid went out there and absolutely did kind of try to ball out against LSU. 19 points with 9 fingers, essentially, but looked like he really only had about 7 fingers against Mizzou.
Well, you can tell he's an ultra competitor, and he's got high basketball IQ. You look at some of the stuff that you've seen out of Boogie's game. Yeah, I mean, you could see he's who doesn't want to play. You're the best player on the floor, the most talented player on the floor most of the nights. But yeah, let's get him healthy and get him well. I don't know if he comes back next year or what, but you get him healthy and get him well because he's got a lot of talent.
Well, I'll tell you, was it Cecil yesterday asked us who are the guys you think you'd like to keep if they're going to stick around another year. And I don't know if Boogie will, but I'd like to keep Carter Knox here for another season. Kid that plays with that kind of effort, that kind of strength, and that ability to make free throws, draw fouls. Yes, love to see him stick around for another season.
When we played Oakland had a 4, an undersized forward. When Oakland came into town, he was an effort guy. He was big time. That's kind of the thing that he can do. I think. I think Carter Knox can be an exceptional player in the SEC, especially if he comes back. And I mean, he's not going to the NBA after this year, so it's just if he gets in the portal or if he does something else. But get him back again, another year in a Razorback uniform, I'd love it.
Levi texted from Southwest Arkansas, asks, how much is it hurting that it doesn't appear that there is an emotional and vocal leader? I don't know about the vocality of it because we're not inside the locker rooms, but I do see emotion from Adu Thero. I sense a lot of fight in Thero and a lot of energy, and I think the team might have fed a little bit off that yesterday. Here was Adu on showing fight.
Word around the SEC, we're soft. They're going to try and come in here and punk us. We had to fix that and show we had fight in us, and you're not going to come in here and just punk us around no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would want to look to the older players in terms of Brazil or Davis or Adu, but I think it's Adu Thero that's the emotional leader on the team. I wonder about the vocality, but then, hey, Matt, 17 and 11 in a comeback win when you're down by 15, and the points he scored in that final minute, not just the free throw, but also the fadeaway in the lane. I think I'm not ready to say this is Adu's team, but I think there's a chance that could happen.
Well, when you're the best player on the team by proxy, it's kind of your team. You're a leader no matter what. Even if you're not a talkative leader, but you're right. Maybe you're just emotional, whatever. But when you're the best player on the team, it just comes with the territory. You have to be one of the leaders. It doesn't mean you still have to be authentic. It doesn't mean you're going to yell or scream, or you don't have to wear your heart on your sleeve, or you can wear it on your sleeve if that's how you are. But you have to be authentic. But every team, if you're the best player on the team, you kind of have to have some of those qualities for the team to be good.
I wonder, too, about Thero's mindset after Boogie goes out with the injury, and he talked about it post-game.
We know there's outside noise going on. We know after everybody heard that Boogie was out, everybody just lost hope in us. We knew that, and everybody doubted us. But we told each other, we're going to stick through this together. We're going to have each other's back, and we're going to fight through this. We're going to get through it. You see what we did out there today.
Hey, kudos to Ben in Fayetteville, who had called us yesterday and texted about it 2 days ago. He was the first one to predict a win for Arkansas with Boogie out. Now, this isn't for me about, the team is better because Boogie Fland isn't on the team. I don't think that's the case at all with somebody that's that talented. But I think it helped galvanize them. And the other aspect, too, is to be down 15 with all of that in your mind that Adu was just talking about and knowing that Boogie's not there to help you come back. There must have been a galvanizing aspect to it. When one of your best guys is out and you don't know how long and you're down 15 and then they push and push and push and grind and come up with a win. I mean, Matt, I know it's just one win, and I don't know how to project it moving forward, but the fact that it came without Boogie and from such a big deficit, I think is gigantic.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple guys, when I watch the games, Phil, I always look to see, how many guys would we want on our team? And there's a couple guys on Georgia's team that I'm like, man, those are some good basketball players. They can really go. So that's a good win because Georgia's got some talent. I don't know that Georgia's a team that's going to make it to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, but that was the next team we had to play. And they have a couple dudes, and their coach. I mean, they got a good coach. That's a solid program, man. That's a big time win, and you're supposed to protect home court, and that's what they were able to do.
Well, you know what else it was? It was a quad one win. I know. Look, I'm not saying this is a team that's going to go to the NCAA tournament, but I do think that if you have 7 quad one victories out of the SEC, and this would be the first, you'll be considered. You'll be on the bubble. They'll have to look at some of the non-conference stuff and maybe how you finish. But it is a quad one win, so I'll at least open the door a little bit to that. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on halftime. Hey, crappie anglers, Bobby Garland Crappie Baits have leveled up innovation once again. They introduced the all-new head-turner brush-off jig heads. setting new standards in affordability and functionality with its twin rotating blades. The head turner gives crappie anglers 360 degrees of unrivaled action, and the brush-off jig head ensures the only thing that's snagged is a mouth. Whether you're pitching, dipping, shooting, corking, or pulling, they've got you covered. The Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation. Stay with Halftime, much more in just a moment.
This is Halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Bartley.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
The Capital One.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full day cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs.
She came around and I stole the glance in my youth. Vampire, and shone white as roses stain. Came on me at bedtime, but who wasn't right on the moonlit light? Hit her in my eye, 85 down the road of a dead end lane. She said, oh, baby. Take me, say, oh, baby, take me to. You came over at bedtime. It's coming out 90 miles down the road of a dead end dream.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Say Asa Newell and Blue Cane kind of stood out for Georgia yesterday. Juwan in Fayetteville texted he liked Blue Cane. Liked him a lot. Yeah, you hear Ed McMahon in the background. C-Unit.
His name just, I don't know, it just made me mad, even more mad. And he was hitting shots. So, like, when they said his name, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Got that, Matt? He does not like his stupid name. And just about that. Now, here's the Blue Cane would seem to be the kind of player that you hate when he's on the other team. But, man, you'd love that kind of player on your team.
He can do something that nobody on our team can do, and that's knock down three-pointers. So 100%, that's another thing that you have to look at. Yeah, I mean, you would like both those kids on this team when you're talking about going forward, when you're getting to get it in the portal or whatever you're going to do. And we thought we had some of those guys, and maybe it comes to fruition. I don't know, but it's not happening yet. But yes, if this team wants to make it to March and make the NCAA tournament, we got to remedy the three-point woes. I mean, we've done the free throws. We got the free throw game down, but we got to find the remedy to shoot better from behind the arc because it's not going to be good enough.
Jim just texted in. He says that he wants the guys to get hypnotized to help them shoot better. That it worked for him when he was in high school and he lost his touch. I've known athletes that that went that route. It's usually that would be one of the last things you try, but I know it's worked in some cases. You want to get the whole team in there for a private hypnotization, and then if it works out, this person, whoever comes in, can then promote him or herself as a shooting hypnotist. Could work, because I'm not sure where else it comes from, truly, Matt. Because who else here has the history of actually being a decent three-point shooter outside of Nelly Davis and what we see from Big Z and Brazil too. I mean, Brazil shot well enough yesterday, just wasn't on the court a lot. Those would be the three that I'd think of. But you got to be able to shoot from the outside. It's like I understand the idea that the last two games or the last 2 days, SEC teams have been winning with defense. But looking on the schedule and what's coming up in the near future, you're going to have to I'm not saying you're going to get in track meets with teams, but there's going to be games you're just going to have to be able to outscore somebody. And yesterday wasn't about that. They had to claw their way back to it. But so what's if you're a shooter that has had success in his career and it's not happened over these first couple of months, what's the next step? Is it just keep getting in the gym, keep practicing, keep trying to stay in a positive mindset, see what happens?
That's all you can do. You got to keep getting shots up, and they eventually start to fall, because that's the ones I'm not talking about making the one late in the shot clock, or you're throwing up one 4 or 5 feet behind the 3-point line. I'm talking about the 3-point shots where we've done everything you're supposed to do, and it's a wide open, hand down, man down, supposed to be 3-point shot. Those are the ones we got to make more of. They're just, I think every single one of Carter Knox's 3-pointers, I don't think there was anybody even by him. Those are the ones. Janelle Davis, he had a handful of them where nobody's even by him. It's like those are the ones we got to start shooting a little better, because you make a couple of those, and even look back at the last 5 games that we lost. You make a couple of those, it's just a totally different game if you make 3 more threes when you're just wide open.
So looking who's coming up here. Oklahoma, OU, in terms of scoring, they were scoring big time in the non-conference, and their trouble has been defense in the SEC. So that might be a team that could be a little bit difficult to slow down. Also coming up, Kentucky on the road. Now, that's a team that can put the ball in the hoop. You're going to have to slow them down, but you're also going to have to score more than 68 to win that game at Rupp. You go to Texas after that. Texas is not necessarily a high-scoring team. I think you could grind that one down. Alabama on the 8th of February at Bud Walton. I mean, that's the only team that scored more than 71 this week in the SEC. They're only the highest scoring team in the nation. 68 is not going to be enough in that game. Getting to 70 has been a problem for this Arkansas basketball team. And so, I mean, that's really just the next 4 games. And I'm seeing 2 teams that you're going to need to hit shots from the outside against. And you're also going to need to muck it up against them, too, and slow them down and grind it. And if you get behind, maybe press a little bit. That seemed to help some last night. But it can't just be 65 to win, 68 to win in this league right now. Also considering that if you're going to be an NCAA tournament team, you got to have another 6-7 wins at the very least. And there's just not a lot of chances for that to happen. So there's got to be upsets out there. At Kentucky, that'd be an upset. At home against Alabama right now, a big upset. A&M on the road, upset. Auburn on the road, upset. The rest of them could be some toss-ups. But the way Missouri's playing, you get them again, even though it's at Bud Walton, maybe that would be an upset, depending on how everybody's playing. Finishing with Mississippi State, that's a really good team. Maybe that would be an upset, too. So I'm not sure where they come from. I just know, Matt, that 68 was good enough yesterday. I don't think it'll be good enough, for every game the rest of the season. Also, considering you're playing some of the highest-scoring teams, not just in the conference, but in the country.
12 games left. You got to win 7 of them. So can you go 7-5? I mean, that's that gives you a chance, I think, to finish in the 16 teams. So you could finish. What Clay say yesterday? Top 10 maybe gives you a chance. So is there 7 wins in our next 12 games? I don't know, but I know we have 7 home games. No, we got 6 home games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you take care of your home court, and then you can find a way to win 1 or 2 on the road,
and maybe just a couple of offensive explosions.
We got to win.
Now would be getting to 80.
We got to win our home. We've dug our. That's what happens when you dig yourself a hole. Now there's really not a lot of room for error, and you got Alabama coming in. That's the only one that really. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if we can win that one. All the other teams that are coming in, I think we can play with those teams.
Well, look, Georgia have been playing some good basketball until hitting this 3-game losing streak. You look at the teams that they've lost to: Tennessee, Auburn, and Arkansas. Georgia had been playing some pretty good ball, even in a loss to Auburn, even though they didn't have Jani Broome. I thought it was a pretty impressive victory. So, ends a losing streak. Changes things a little bit for you, but there's certainly there's always going to be things to fix and to improve upon. And in a win, it feels a lot better to talk about trying to improve upon those things. Because I know yesterday it felt pretty hopeless for a lot of folks. I mean, I remember thinking, there's going to be 3 wins in the SEC. You're going to go winless or whatever. And it's just funny how 3 more points than the opponent changes that conversation. Because that also shows me that they, it didn't happen against LSU, but they made the plays at the end of the game that were necessary. A rebound by Knox, a bucket by Thero,
made late
a steal
free throws
by Nellie Davis, making those free throws. Those are all the hallmarks of a team that, when it comes down to the last couple of minutes of a fourth quarter, you got to make those plays. And it's not like they were really in that situation all that often, except for the LSU game in conference. the Ole Miss game potentially too, I guess. But they made the plays yesterday. So for me, it just showed that a team, I'm not going to say they know how to win a game because that's just one, but they knew how to win yesterday, and that's what mattered yesterday. Woods wants to bring in Pat Bradley to teach the kids how to shoot. Maybe the SEC network would allow this because Pat still has a good-looking shot.
When your nickname's the shooter, I can dig it, and class is permanent. And that's what Pat has, man. Pat could teach people how to shoot.
Ryan's happy because he was about ready to donate his wife's chickens to the team for sacrifice, a la Major League. John says not going to go 7-5 over the last 12. And look, that would be a really difficult thing to pull off. But I mean, that's kind of what you're looking at in these next 6 weeks. If you're trying to hold out some kind of hope for postseason. And look, when I'm talking postseason, I'm talking NCAA tournament. I don't think people would be all that fired up about it NIT, but if that's the bid you get, maybe that's the direction you go. 7 wins in the final 12, that'll be a difficult thing to pull off considering the teams that are on there. But, Georgia's pretty good. I think that could very well be, and I think will be, a tournament team. So that gives you 2 victories against teams that should be in the tournament right now, Michigan being one, and Georgia being another. And, I mean, wasn't it last week Cal was talking about it, trying to convince these guys this is the same team that beat Michigan. Now you got another game to point to. It's like, you remember when you did that? You remember when that happened? When Boogie had the surgery and you didn't know whether, when he was going to be back, and we're all down about this, but we kind of got ourselves together and played great defense, got to the foul line, grabbed rebounds, and got a win. So you can do it again. All you need is evidence that you've done it once. And they've actually done it twice this year, because the Michigan game was a comeback too.
Gotta quit. You look at that Miami game as well, where we're down double digits. Got to quit letting that happen, because some of these other teams, man. And what did Coach Cal give you the stat when he said when he has a team that gets up 10, they don't lose? Same thing going for these other teams. When they get up 10, they don't lose. So whatever that's going on, got to quit digging ourselves a early hole, because it's just too tough to come back from. And let's get that second win in January. Let's go ahead and do that this Saturday. Go to 2-5. Get that second dub in the column, and because we got a tough stretch. You got to go to Kentucky and to Texas. Your 2 first games in February. Man, this Oklahoma game's big.
I feel like the next halftime homework assignment for CUnit may have to be watching Georgia basketball for the rest of the season. So they're going to be forced to watch Blue Kane, who right now is it's got to be his least favorite athlete in the entire SEC, the way he spoke about him. Anybody out there remember Blue Edwards? But I don't think that was his real first name. I think that was a nickname. Blue Edwards, a former first-round pick of the Utah Jazz, and played his college ball at East Carolina. But his first name was Theodore. So I think this kid's name is really Blue. It's the first guy I've ever seen or heard of where that is his first name. Usually, if your name is Red, chances are you have red hair.
I thought of blue cheese whenever they said that. I don't know why.
Yeah, but his name is not B-L-E-U. He's not French. It's too bad. He's from Washington, D.C. Or that was Blue Edwards is from Washington, D.C. Yeah, maybe watch their Florida game on Saturday and turn the sound up, so you got to hear Blue all day long. And now I think we can play Linda Ronstadt's Blue Bayou at some point tonight. Why not? Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, right next to Baum. If you're gearing up for baseball season, you don't have everything you need for basketball season right now. The Stadium Shop has everything Razorback. Doesn't matter what sport it is, they've got it all right there at the Stadium Shop. The Stadium Shop is local, family, alumni owned and operated. You can call them at 479-STADIUM. Stop by on Razorback. Make sure they know ESPN sent you, and you can also go to shoponrazorback.com. We'll wrap up the first hour of halftime right after this break.
Have fun storming the castle.
This is halftime.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Hi, this is Sydney from Ben Guerin. 2025 annual passes are now available at Ben Guerin Golf Course. We offer a variety of plans to meet your budget needs. We have special pricing for juniors, seniors, and military. If you're looking for the best golf value in the River Valley, then look no further than Ben Guerin Golf Course. Book your 2025 tournament outings now. For more information, call the Pro Shop at 646-5301, go to bengueringolf.com, or follow us on Facebook. When you think golf, think Ben Guerin.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm going away again, didn't hear the phone. Too busy singing, sent fan at home. California knows I'll be a while now. It's love, hate, feeling.
From the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
If you have not gone on to our hitthatline.com webpage, donated to Northwest Arkansas, to the Arkansas Children's Northwest Magic and Muriel's Radiothon, we ask that you consider doing that. The Radiothon is February 21st, a Friday, all day long. All of our shows on ESPN Arkansas will be on location broadcasting live at Arkansas Children's Northwest during the event, and trying to raise funds and support for Arkansas Children's Northwest next round of expansion at hitthatline.com. You see the link at the top of the page. You'll also find on the webpage links to all of the various shows on ESPN Arkansas. We are raising money independently each of the shows, and thanks to Schlotzsky's for being our presenting sponsor for Halftime. Schlotzsky's is a mouthful and the perfect partner for your event catering needs. 877-377-6963 for calls and for texts. And the shooting coaches are coming in here, at least the people who they think, our listeners think, could be a good shooting coach. Ronnie Brewer Sr., Joe Johnson be a good shooting coach, and Pat Bradley right now are the three candidates that folks have texted in. Who else you think that is not currently playing that you would like to bring in to be a shooting coach? And we're talking about the outside shot, not worrying about getting to the rim very much. Bradley's always the first one that I think of, Matt. Yeah, Mason Jones potentially. Remember, he had a good outside look at Isaiah Joe.
There's a white kid.
Dusty Hannes?
There you go. That's who I was
There it
thinking
is.
of. He's kind of got that Jimmer Fredette, like he's just too little bitty, but he's got a shot on him. And here's the thing, the different size, and so not to get too scientific, but like when you're 5'9" or you're 6'9", your shot's gonna look different, as far as how flat it is and the arc on it. And so that's the thing. And then being squared up and not falling away, following your shot. There's other techniques and things you can do to improve on. But I think a lot of it might just be in between the ears. I think that when listening, go ahead.
I said we might need Reggie Miller to come in.
We'll see, and he's got a different looking shot. But yeah, I mean, it's something about, it's kind of like a golf swing. You want something that you can repeat. It's got to be repetitive.
Josh texts in Rodney Clark would be a good one. Dusty Hannes, I think, is back in Israel playing professionally. And I said Mason Jones, and I don't remember if he's in the G League or a 10-day contract right now. Yeah, they can't be playing at the moment. Seth and Rogers says, why not John Daly? He can do 30 shots in a row. What about that? Alex Dillard from Troy and Harrison. Todd Day. And, of course, there's a few folks that sent in Scotty Thurman. I'd go with Scotty, I guess, just because
he's got the proper arc.
Well, I was going to say that's the arc, and his body type's a little different from Nelly, but the height is not too different. I think he was 2 inches taller, or is 2 inches taller than Nelly Davis is. Hour number 2 of Halftime is approaching. We'll start to get in with our guest, and Hogville's Dudley Dawson joins us in 20 minutes. Otherwise, wide open for you in the upcoming segment. 877-377-6963 to get with Halftime.
ESPN Arkansas is proud to partner with Arkansas Children's Northwest for the Miracles and Magic Mediathon. Together, we can make a difference for local kids. Every donation directly supports the expansion of Arkansas Children's Northwest. A big thank you to our presenting sponsors, Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Visit crabtreerv.com. Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine in Springdale. Adventure starts here. And Schlotzsky's, the perfect partner for your event catering needs. Donate now at hitthatline.com and let's make a difference together.
Are you tired of the same old smelly gym? Then it's time to try something new. Let's Hang Out. The Hangout Fitness and Sports is the River Valley's only multi-sport family-friendly facility with a 24-hour gym and indoor courts for tennis and pickleball. With over 8,000 square feet for the gym alone, it's never overcrowded. The Hangout has certified trainers on staff with group personal training available. If HIIT, bar, yoga, or Pilates is your thing, they have that too. Join today and get January for free with a 3-month commitment. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's Hang Out.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Harry Douglas here, and if you're constantly on the go like I am, then earbuds are a priority. That's why you need Technique's new noise-canceling AZ80s. Like you, these buds work as hard as they play. You'll get Technique's legendary high-res audio, along with state-of-the-art noise cancellation, so you can stay in your zone. Visit us.techniques.com/sports to shop for AZ80s now. That's us.technics.com/sports.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. A high this afternoon will be in the upper 40s at north, mid-40s south. Clear and cold overnight, lows in the mid to upper teens overnight. Friday, we're right back to sunshine. Our high on Friday in the lower 40s. And then Saturday, partly sunny skies, a high upper 40s to near 50. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Sportsman.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to take an opportunity. Woo! Go blow the whistle.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
You got to take me here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back into the second hour of halftime. We are live on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, and my partner is Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston is producing. Hogville's Dudley Dawson about 15 minutes from right now. If you want to get in, the line is open, 877-377-6963. I am in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee today for women's basketball, taking on Vanderbilt tonight at 6:30. Vanderbilt coming in with a 15-4 record, 2-3 in the SEC. They got a 1-point win over Tennessee over the weekend, their first win over the Lady Vols in 13 years. Hogs coming in 8-12, 1-4 in the SEC. And the sun is shining brightly in the Music City, Matt. And you can see the Nashville Parthenon, less than a mile away from my hotel window. The famous Vanderbilt Wendy's standing right here. It is the one thing that seems to be in the way of some massive renovations out this way. And I tell you, I even could not tell when the bus pulled up behind the hotel yesterday to unload that that's the Vanderbilt football stadium next door. It doesn't look like a stadium, at least from ground level, because back before they rebuilt this thing, if you're on ground level, you're looking right into the stadium. It looks to me like Vanderbilt might actually have a halfway decent football stadium now, and it took them a couple of years to get there. Nashville's a great place. I always love coming here. Good food, great music, and some of the weirdest facilities in the entire SEC. Did you ever play in this building here that we're in tonight?
We played Vanderbilt and Bud Walton. It was a Saturday noon tip. I think I was a freshman the year we played them. My other year we played them, I don't think we played. I had 4 points, including almost like one of the last baskets of the game. We won, like kind of not the winning basket, but I made a shot late with about 2 minutes left to go. And just to be a football player and to be out there at that time, thought it was pretty cool. But we beat them. That's what I'm getting to. We were 1-0 in Bud Walton against them.
This is for my money, the weirdest building in basketball because of the raised floor and because of the benches on the end zones instead of on the sidelines. And it's got a little bit, I don't know if you've ever been inside Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, where, the stands go so far back and recessed, and there are walls that jut through. So, I mean, the end zones and the side sections are really kept apart from the rest of the arena, and it has a theater and the round feel to it. But the raised floor is just very weird. This is the one place, I think it'll be the only place ever that I'll ever call a game where I am below the players. I'm always either right there on the same level with them, or in baseball, or I'm above them a little bit. And in football, I mean, you better be above them, otherwise you're not going to be able to tell what's going on. So, and it's no surprise how difficult it can be to win in this building. I mean, they're 11-1, and Arkansas has lost the last 2 trips here to Memorial Gymnasium, and no snow on the ground. BE, it's cold, but this is not one of the cities or the areas of the South that's been drenched or whitewashed by the blizzard. In fact, it's a beautiful, clear day, and there's not even a single speck of precipitation on the ground. So we won't have any trouble getting out of here. It's just getting a win. That would be a little bit of the thing that's the issue for women's basketball and also for men's basketball, because both of them right now have the 1 win in SEC play. Go to the phones, and here's Charlie in Camden. Charlie, good afternoon. How you doing?
Well, how's it going, Phil?
Happy.
Can you hear me?
Of course, it's going great. Arkansas basketball won a game yesterday. It's a different conversation today. We'll see what happens in the Oklahoma game, and hopefully we're not having the same conversation we had for the previous 3 weeks.
Well, guess what, Phil? You're sounding just like Calipari there. We won a game. But if you think about that message, a lot of people take that as negative, and he is trying to instill positivity into these kids because he knows what they're dealing with right now. And I thought I'd do Thiero, and he did a good job last night in the post game of pointing out, some of this stuff has got, it has gotten to them. How could it not, right? The outside noise, whether or not you hear it. I mean, no matter what you do, I mean, I don't care how much you better shut your phone off, I guess, completely, not to hear some of it, because it's just going to happen, right? But I was I think the thing for me last night was I was proud of how they won the game, right? Yeah. A lot of times when you win a game, I guess 93-86, you think, well, oh my God, we can just outscore everybody, and we can look. At the end of the day, you talked about this yesterday, Phil. This is a team right now that has to understand, and they defined it for themselves last night too, because they saw they could do it. They can win games in the 60s. They showed themselves last night that they could do that. Georgia is a very physical team. They rebound, they defend, and guess what? The Hawks out-rebounded them by 10. I thought when I looked at that at the end of the game, I thought I was losing my eyesight. For the Hawks to beat them on the glass by 10, the way they not only match their physicality, but guess what you do when you do that? Now you have set a standard from the standpoint of there's no more excuses. You cannot not play hard like that every game. That's not saying you're going to win the rebounding battle by 10, but that Carter Knox that we saw last night, we haven't seen that Carter Knox this year. How many possessions did he save for this team? I can't count on my hand. He may not even gotten the rebound. Maybe he just made the other guy knock the ball out of bounds on the other team. How many times did he get to the free throw line? Look, I'm not saying that's what you have to rely on, but sometimes there was a team a few years ago, and correct me if I'm wrong, Phil, about this, but I think it was Houston. They weren't the greatest shooting team in the world. They weren't very good, actually, but you know what? They put the ball up on the rim, and they would go get it. And they would fight their freaking butt off and get to the line and find a way. Look, we were all wrong about this team. This is not going to be an aesthetically pleasing team, right, when you watch them. But maybe this is how, if they're going to win, they're going to have to do it this way right now, because this team is not built. I mean, they got to keep shooting open shots. Nelly, I liked how he played. Hey, he missed shots, but at least he was freaking taking them and was aggressive, and they're going to fall for him. I loved how he played. I loved how DJ played at point guard. Thiero is a dog, man. I don't know about you, man, but I love watching that dude play. he plays harder than I don't know how he gives his body. He kind of reminds me of Jackson, the running back that played for us, but he does it on the basketball court. Just the way he plays, he just gives it everything he has. And so I just wonder what you guys thought, though. Like for Nelly, people are still going at him a little bit, but I thought he played well. He just didn't make shots.
I want him to keep shooting, Charlie. I want him to keep shooting because, and I agree with a lot of what you've said here. You know, the first thing to take is they won a game. The second thing to take is that they care, and they didn't let go of the rope. And one of the things you were talking about made me think of something Cal said last week.
Everybody has got games against really good teams. You got to figure it out. We had a couple chances to win some games, and we didn't. Then you start like this today, but they didn't stop playing. They kept fighting, gave ourselves a chance, and then let go of the rope.
All right, so let go of the rope. Nobody let go of the rope yesterday. If you're 0-5 in the SEC and you see no end in sight and you're down 15, you could let go of the rope. They did not do that. They did not see that no end in sight. But I just don't. I think it is a matter of who your opponents are. It's like you talk about, Matt. It's the styles that make the fights. You score 68 against Alabama, you probably lost the game by at least 20 points. So, you gotta find a way to meet that in the middle somehow. This is how you can potentially beat Texas A&M, because that's the same style that Georgia plays. But that's not how you beat Alabama. That's not how you beat Kentucky. And in order for that to happen, the shots have to start falling, right?
Hey, keep at it. One of the things is Coach keeps instilling confidence in his kids. There's something about playing basketball when that buzzer sounds and you know you're being checked out. Then you go down the court, you make a mistake. He's letting them play through it, especially if it's a good shot. If you're just not hitting a good shot, let them play through it. Sometimes when you miss a couple shots and Coach takes you out, then you really start thinking about it some more. So I do like the way that Coach is letting them play through it, because there's nobody else to put in. These are the guys you got, and as long as you're giving effort, we're going to go to battle.
It's important to look at Knox and the idea that with Carter Knox plus 11 in the ball game, nobody else on Arkansas was better than plus 5. So that's a matter of exactly what Charlie is saying, of the ability to save some possessions or get you some possessions just to flat out of hustle or want to. And I don't think that it is a coincidence that when you look at the incoming freshman class, it's one of the highest rated freshman classes in the country. But everybody's talking about Boogie as the first round pick, as the potential lottery pick and the NBA guy, and it's on his shoulders. And Richmond and Knox were the questions and, the ifs, and are they going to get any better next year? And I think it seemed to me that Carter Knox internalized that and turned that into some – I'm not saying he didn't have the 1-2 before, but when he got the chance to play 34 minutes yesterday, it was all 1-2 yesterday.
The thing I'd say about Carter, Phil, is he looks like he belongs out there. It doesn't look like he's timid, or sometimes Billy Richmond looks like he's kind of lost, like he'll cut and they throw, and it's like whoa, and then or he'll turn it over, he'll do something. It's like, and I'm not saying Billy Richmond's not going to be a heck of a player, but I would say Carter Knox is a guy going forward that he better grow up quick. Coach Nutt used to have a thing. Saying once we get to conference play, and a lot of times, Phil, we started conference with Alabama, so I get the saying. But he's like, once we get to conference play, if you're a freshman, you're not a freshman anymore. You can't make freshman mistakes. And that's what you saw out of Carter Knox, man. 11 out of 13 from the free throw line, open shots, and took them with confidence. He'll start making some of those three-pointers.
For those athletes, a little bit different, but for some of us who were not athletes, I was a freshman for 3 years.
If you can shoot 11 out of 13 from the free throw line, Phil, you can make 3-point shots. That means you're natural. He's a gifted shooter. Just keep on shooting.
Looking for a side-by-side motorcycle, ATV, zero-turn mower? Never look any farther than your local Wood Power Sports store. That's the first place to look at. Convenient locations nearby, Harrison, Springdale, and Fayetteville, and all the brands you're thinking of, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, just to name a few. Their locations also provide outstanding service and parts capabilities and deliveries at Wood Power Sports. You can go to woodpowersports.com. They're a solid name that you can trust. Hogville's Dudley Dawson joins us for a segment right after this break.
She's a peacock. You got to let her fly, man. Or your girl, Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect. It's like she's a free-range pony. You got to let her go, man. Let her neigh.
This is halftime.
1,
Second down. The give is to Felix Jones on an end around. Jones to the 30 to 40. Jones in midfield. He may go. 25 to 20. 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Felix Jones goes 72 yards. And the Razorbacks increase their lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The Capital One.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full day cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Tell me, do you think Cut me like I think of you. Night after night. To know to fight. Now you come far away, away. If you can, would you stay? Would you stay?
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Here is Hogville's Dudley Dawson on our hotline for a Thursday halftime segment, and we appreciate you making that part of your week, Dudley. How you doing? You enjoy covering a win?
I'm doing great. I've been to see our grandson in the last week and got a new puppy 2 days ago, and so I'm living the life right now.
Wow, that's called cute overload. Grandsons and puppies together, it's like just add a kitten and I just can't take any of it.
Did he get to name the puppy? What's the puppy's name?
Now, the puppy was born in Oklahoma, and his breeders named him John Luke, which is a character in a cartoon named Bluey. But while we kept that in the middle, his first name is Tatum John Luke Holiday Dawson, and that should be pretty easy to figure out here.
Yeah, there we go.
Not Channing Tatum.
I know who Tatum is. I know who Holiday is too. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a bundle of energy. So and so was the grandson. So yeah, I mean, and as I understand it, Coach Cal wore a red coat last night, and that was the reason they won. So everything's good.
I hadn't even mentioned it, but I'll tell you what. When I turned on the TV, and I started watching the game late last night. I had dinner with a friend in Nashville, ended up putting the game on after it had started and started from the beginning. It's the first thing I noticed. Oh, he's got the red blazer on today.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the intensity being better in the second half, the defense being better in the second half, and going stronger in the second half. So.
The thing that stands out to me, Dudley, is it's a team that looks like they care. Because if you don't care and you're 0-5 and you're down 15, even at home in the first half, you're gonna lose by 20. You're gonna lose by 25, and the place will be empty by the time you're 10 minutes left in the game. That didn't happen yesterday. It's a team that cares.
Yeah, and that very easily could have happened. And when I heard that Boogie Plan was going to be out for the rest of the year, I, like everybody else, that's not good for him. But also having covered sports for as long as I have and having played sports way back in the day, I know that sometimes, even when he's a fantastic player, there's addition by subtraction. And I think we saw a group last night that, especially in the second half, got after it a little bit more on defense. They played a different style, I thought, in the second half. And that's, as Cal said after the game, they're going to have to be grinders. It was a half reminiscent to me of some that I saw back when I sat on the bench as a manager with Coach Eddie Sutton. And so I really liked what I saw. Now, do I think they're going to bust out and go nuts now? We'll see, but I do have a little bit more hope for that, and especially since they're playing an Oklahoma team that, has been struggling pretty much like they have here at home on Saturday.
Dudley, you think Carter Knox, the young freshman that played that 4 spot a little bit last night, do you think he can continue this? Because I thought he played extremely well. He was athletic, did a lot of things well. How do you see him going these next 12 games?
Yeah, I think you could see, a vast improvement out of that now that he's going to get some consistency with the 30-plus minutes that you have to make up for what Boogie was playing. And one thing that I do think happens, it is really tough when you are a star in high school and you have to come to a place and you have to acquiesce a little bit and try to find your role. And maybe this is going to help him find his, and maybe, the pieces will fall in a little bit better. You're still going to have to do everything else really well. And I thought another big thing they didn't do last night was have the turnovers. Although they're a few early, the turnovers were not as prevalent and did not lead to as easy baskets as some of them have been this year. So, yeah, I think that's a good point that, some of these guys who weren't getting the minutes that they no doubt felt they deserved now have the chance, and they're going to come in hungry. And there's always something to be said for that.
But a guy that kept getting minutes and I think he's got a green light, and I don't think that'll change, is Nelly Davis. And I'd like to think sooner or later, just based on career percentages, the shot begins to fall. A lot of open looks yesterday. And I do think, if this really is going to be a spark of a victory and leads to, at least a few more in the near future, that shot has to start falling. Like, he can't be sitting, and he can't be out there thinking, if I miss a shot, they're going to take me out of the game. That wasn't the case yesterday. And I thought he responded in other areas very well, but that shot has to start falling.
Yeah, and I thought it was very interesting that Coach Cal said after the game on the SEC network that, I went back and I watched him at Florida Atlantic, and the thing that he did was he just shot all over the place, and he was a volume shooter. And sometimes it takes a little bit for, guys like Jason Tatum and LeBron James and them to warm up a little bit, see the ball go through the basket. And, he hasn't forgotten how to play. He's had the yips or lost some confidence, but there's still a very good player in there. And maybe you're about to see that, and maybe you're about to see, a different dynamic that might end up, as strange as it sounds, might end up being better than the direction they were headed.
How do you think? Do you think after one win has anything changed? Do you feel like this team can make the tournament or can put anything together? Or are you still kind of just going to see how it goes Saturday?
Yeah, I'm a wait and see guy. I've always been a wait and see guy. I think that it's better than losing, and having to deal with what has become a valid criticism of their play so far. Once you win, when you could see the relief on their faces, and that can lead you to a string, but also it's night in and night out. You're going to have to do the same thing you did in the second half last night. Try to do that for as much of the 40 minutes as you can. Oklahoma's in a similar situation where hopes for the NCAA tournament, hopes to be in a relevant program are slipping away. Both are going to be, I would think, hungry for a win. Maybe we'll have a really good ball game on Saturday in Bud Walton Arena, and I'm sure you're going to have a pretty good crowd now that they've actually won a game. I think people were finding reasons not to come when they were losing.
Who would be if you can pick one former Razorback of any era that's going to come in and help with the shooting, who's it going to be and why?
I was listening to y'all earlier, and y'all threw out some great names. I am going to go with Marvin Delft, and I know that maybe would not be the choice for every one of the different type of guys, but his shot was pure. It was consistent all the time. If we're going to go find somebody to be a shooting coach, then he was one of the best I've ever seen at shooting.
We got some good matchups this weekend. The Redskins beat the Eagles just not too long ago, a couple months ago. Jaden Daniels 5 touchdown passes in that game. What a matchup for the NFC Championship. How do you see? And then you got the big one on the AFC side. But how do you see these two going? Who do you got meeting up in the Super Bowl?
Well, I think that I'm going to go with Washington and Kansas City. But I'll be honest about it. I have a lot of friends, and I know several of them are listening right now, including one, who have gotten all into themselves. Now the Chiefs have won so much, and they forgot they were like the Cowboys back in the day in terms of wins and having to suffer through things. I would like to see a Buffalo-Washington Super Bowl, but I think it's going to be a Kansas City-Washington Super Bowl, and the mobility of Jalen Hurts is one thing I think that is something that could be, a detriment, obviously, to the Eagles. But, man, I tell you what, I totally missed on Jalen Daniels. 2 years ago, I remember him getting hyped up, and I thought, I just don't see it. Just don't see it at all. And I totally missed on that. I mean, that guy is legit. He's legit in the clutch. He's legit as a rookie. And I have great respect for what he's got going and what the Washington program overall, the front office and everything they've done, man, I know another team in that division that would be really good if they followed that model.
You know what's and I'm not saying this, saying, well, Jerry's got to sell the team, but for the fans, for whatever franchise, that they feel that the ownership is the thing that's in the way, and I'm part of one of those as a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. The ownership is in the way. Sell the team. Sell the team. It is not a coincidence that the Commanders are where they are the year after Dan Snyder sells the team, because that ownership was a cancer not just on that franchise but on the entire league. So I don't think it's a coincidence.
I don't either. And I believe I'm right in that Jerry is the only one who does a press conference before the head coach and the players in the NFL, and I don't like that at all. He's a great man, done a lot for this university, done a lot for the state. But, man, I've been with this team for 60 years now. We were winning before you. We will win after you. We're not winning right now. And so I would really like to see some changes made. But I know that Kellen Moore or Schottenheimer is going to be the head coach. I've resigned myself to thinking that. And, it's one day it'll change, but not tomorrow, I'm sure.
Only goes with those who he knows is kind of the way that it looks at it. I got to ask you a quick baseball thing, because we've got practice starting tomorrow and the season in 22 days. So I saw Matt Jones's report in Whole Hog that the base coaches are switching up, and I really like this. I like it a lot. Bobby Wernes will be moving to coach third base, putting Nate Thompson in the dugout, and Hudson Polk coaching first base. Now, I love the fact that you're going to have Nate in the dugout, because a hitting coach should be helping the hitters during the when they're in the dugout and not hitting. And he can also act as a bench coach. And I love the idea of Polk at first base, because if this is a team that really is going to be an aggressive base-running team and maybe steal some bases, who picks up on pitchers' tendencies really well? A guy who is a very good defensive catcher. That's what Hudson Polk was. So I think it works all around.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing I have never understood, unless you're playing in Little League and all that, why the coaches need to be coaching the base path. I think they need to be in the dugout talking to the hitters, talking to the pitchers. I've always been a believer in that. That and why the managers still wear uniforms, I don't know. But yeah, I think this is a great move. And, hey, it's not been working at the end the last couple of years. Let's see if this helps it work at the end. Anything you can do to help change the end the last 2 years is something you need to try at least.
Dudley, we'll leave it there. Always appreciate you hopping on with us. Thanks very much.
You bet, man.
Thanks, Dudley.
Dudley Dawson from Hogville with us each Thursday. I think if you're going to be a third base coach, there are some intricacies to that job that you have to have some experience doing it. It's weird when you think about it, and I've spoken with some third base coaches about it, but they have to worry about angles of the view that they have on a ball hit to the gap or down the line or wherever, so that they have a real sense of what the timing's going to be and who the runner is. Bobby's been a third base coach before when he managed in the minor leagues, so this is not a first-time thing for him. You don't want somebody who's going to be a first-time third base coach. That's difficult, I think, to learn it on the fly. And I think the intricacies of coaching first base have so much to do with the tendencies of the pitcher on the mound and what they do in terms of how they the pickoff move and maybe stealing a base here and there. And so what this also tells me, also putting Nate in the dugout next to Dave, is that I think Dave is going to be thinking about some things that we might not have seen as much in the last few years. And it's not like he didn't put on the hit and run and then try to steal bases sometimes, but I think there may be a little bit more put guys in motion strategy coming up this next year. You want to have an experienced coach in the dugout to bounce those ideas off of. And as experienced as and as much as Dave knows about this game and offensive strategy, I mean, even some of the best managers in the history of the sport had bench coaches there next to him to bounce those ideas off of. And that's what Nate's going to be here. I think this will work out. I hope it'll work out, but I also think it's going to work out. It also works out for you at Valley Family Dental, used to be known as Riley Farm Dental, the entrance to Riley Farm, providing every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, and now same-day crowns. Dr. Sparkman Farmer and Dr. Blaine Van Nice helping their patients with a better smile, more confident. You'll have a comfortable experience every time at Valley Family Dental. They are at 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A, the entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71 in Fort Smith, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Make sure that they know you heard about them here on ESPN Radio, and you'll get a snore guard $300 off. Stay with Halftime. Much more coming up after the break.
Oh.
I just don't understand why people don't turn their blinker on and just think it's okay to stop in the middle of the road.
This is Halftime.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires. Don't disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
This is Halftime.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves for kids up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Hi, this is Truett Tollett with WT Equipment. We're here to help you get ready for the year ahead. Take advantage of our small engine shop special. Just $129 to service your mower or handheld equipment, any brand. Don't wait. This offer ends February 28th. While you're here, check out New Holland Tractors, Bobcat Equipment, and more. Tough, reliable, and ready to work as hard as you do. Visit any of our locations or online at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment. Equip your future. Elevate your potential.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place. 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Transform your yard work game with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Experts and nearly 200,000 homeowners rave about Ego's performance. Gas power without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Their patented 56-volt arc lithium battery delivers top-notch torque and fits all 90-plus Ego tools. Power through yard work and tailgates with the same battery. Plus, enjoy Ego innovations like the first fold-flat lawnmower and weatherproof equipment. Discover more at egopowerplus.com.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Loving to your heart, turn. Wander till you reach your destination. See, take me
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It's going to be one more for Thero with 1.8 to go. Georgia's going to have to go the length of the floor. He missed the second one, got his own rebound, puts it up and in at the horn, and Arkansas wins. Arkansas wins. Thero missed the free throw off the front of the rim, beat Georgia to the basketball, laid it in at the horn, and Arkansas wins the game 68-65. How about that? What a finish. Thero with the free throw and then the bucket. He scores the last 3 points of the ball game, Z, and Arkansas's got a W.
So after the bucket and after Chuck's call and it's all finished, and I started thinking to myself, man, it just felt really good to win, and then this one hit me.
Love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
It's as simple as it gets. That's baseball philosopher Ebby Calvin Nuke Lelouch with the most simple philosophy ever in the history of sports. It is so much better to win than to lose. You know what I mean, Matt? You know what I mean? It's just much better to win than to lose. Everybody feels a lot better just a couple of minutes after the game's over. Just got to keep that feeling going.
Comes down to the little things. That's right. It's if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's tough to win. It's tough to win at a high level. It's big time, man. It's always nice to win. That's exactly right.
So I mean, I always have Bull Durham in the back of my head, and then my father, who's still trying to get roles as a 76-year-old actor, sent me an audition announcement for an off-Broadway show that will be debuting in October. It is the Bull Durham musical. You heard that right. Actually written by Ron Shelton, who was the writer and director for the classic movie. And they're casting it right now. This is a legit thing. Equity's paying $1,156 per week. It's not bad money. They already have offers out for Annie Savoy. I love the character description for Annie Savoy here, Matt. Character is female, the sexy, curvy, warm, and fiery high priestess of the Durham Bulls. Annie is more than a little cautious about embarking upon relationships that could last more than a season. She also must have a great Southern rock voice. You transport Bonnie Raitt about whatever. I don't know how old Bonnie Raitt is now, but if she were in her late 30s or early 40s, she'd be Annie Savoy. Crash Davis, we know who he is. Charismatic, dry sense of humor, a no-nonsense attitude towards life and love, and he's got to have a strong pop rock singing voice. Ebby Calvin Lelouch, cocky, energetic, and often clueless, possessing a boyish charm, genuine desire to succeed even if he doesn't know the best way to go about it. I guess I could maybe audition for Roy Tuck. He's the gravel-voiced radio sports announcer, Southern. Been around a long time, seen it all. They want somebody in their 40s to 60s, but I'm not a member of Equity, so I don't think I can pull it off. Try to come up with some. This is a musical, keep in mind. This was not a musical when it came out. Could we have a song that's titled The Rose Goes in the Front? Could we have another title called Sears Sucks? Hold It Like an Egg? The Bermuda Triangle, perhaps? I'm going to have to make a trip in October, Matt, and at least go see the musical production of Bull Durham. And will there be a scene in the bathtub on stage? I have a lot of questions that I don't know if they have answers for. But I never thought this would be a musical.
Will Susan Sarandon be in the audience?
Doubtful. I think there might have been a falling out with Sarandon and Robbins, not between the two of them. I know that they ended their relationship, and the director, or at least the producers of the movie. So I don't know if she'll be out there, but man, I hope she would. But I love this. I love this idea of this. Could we have other? Like that is I've argued with Zach Arns about this, and I say movies can be about more than one thing. It's not just a movie about sex. It's not just a movie about baseball. It's the two things put together. Relationships. That's what that thing's about. But I never thought you'd actually see it on stage. Are we gonna get to a place where maybe North Dallas 40 is a musical on Broadway? Could we get The Replacements as a musical on Broadway? I mean, do we have a football musical out there? Has there been a football musical? Because I know some baseball ones. Damn Yankees. Heck, I played Shoeless Joe as a sophomore in high school. It happened to be the first year I made the high school baseball team. So I think maybe they were trying to get baseball equipment for the theater in the school, and that's why they allowed me to be part of it, but they actually let me perform and stay there. I don't know. What football movie would be a great musical? 877-377-6963. The program. All the right moves. The program could be a really good one.
Waterboy.
I think there could be a theme song from the program called "Don't Fumble the Freaking Ball." You just follow. Who played the part when he carried the ball all around
Omar
classes?
Epps.
That was Omar Epps. That's right. That one would work. I think that one would work really well. 877-377-6963 to get with us. Here's another baseball story. Ichiro goes into the Hall of Fame. Willie Bloomquist, a former teammate of his, describes his funniest moment as an Ichiro teammate.
One story that kind of sticks out that I remember, I can't remember the umpire who did this, but Ichiro hit a foul ball down the right field line that was close to being fair, so he came out of the box and it just landed foul. And the umpire picked up his bat and used it to tap his shoes, like to knock the dirt off of his shoes. And I've never seen Ichiro get so pissed off before. He started cursing at that dude because he hit his shoes with his bat. And that's a big time no, man. You don't do that with his bat. And so to hear Ichiro start cussing at him in Japanese, and it was we about fell over in stitches. Man, you know not to mess with Ichiro's bats when it comes to that. So we learned really quickly that that's something you don't do.
That'd be great, because if you think of the one word in Bull Durham that could get you ejected from a game, whatever that word is in Japanese, no umpire knows what that is. So Ichiro could say whatever he wants in Japanese and not get the thumb. It's like the umpires have a sense of what the Spanish curse words are. They know those because there are enough Spanish-speaking ball players in the minor leagues that they've heard everything from every one of these guys over the course of their tenure, even before they make it to the majors. As far as Japanese, I don't know Japanese words. I know some of the curse words in Spanish, none of them in Japanese. But they better start learning them, because now we've got, there's a lot of, there's an influx of Asian players that have been coming in to the States for quite a while now. Japan, Korea, and those guys can say things that probably aren't going to get them ejected out of the game. I'm sure there's a Japanese magic word, but I just don't know what it is. I got something magic for you at Andy's Frozen Custard. If you're ever craving anything sweet and delicious, Andy's Frozen Custard has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Find them in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue, Conway, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive. If you're in North Little Rock, they're on JFK Boulevard. How about the Cherry Bash Concrete? Andy's Frozen Custard blended with chocolate syrup, maraschino cherries, Heath Bar, and almonds. Good. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or drive through, always ready to serve you. Back after the break, we'll wrap up the second hour here on Halftime.
Man, I love y'all, man. I'm telling you, y'all really help me. Y'all get me through the day every day.
This is halftime.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new Ultra Matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Has your spouse suddenly entered the transfer portal, going from a franchise player to a prima donna ready to take the money and run? Don't let her get away with a huge buyout. Be proactive. Call Mock Legal Solutions today to ask about custody, alimony, and child support. 479-769-1505. Because even in divorce, the best offense is a good defense. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
I think we should start seeing other people.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find him at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give him a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Bobby's on the phone in Cave Springs right now. Let's take a phone call from Bobby. with baseball season about 3 weeks away, Bobby. Going to miss you this next year. But how you doing? And thanks for calling in.
I am doing okay. Hey, gee, it's not even 40 degrees. The wind's blowing about 180 miles an hour. It's perfect baseball weather. I hope it doesn't get past the team that last night their efforts to play defense in the first half kept us in the game. Because as bad as we were shooting, if they had not kept trying on defense, we wouldn't have had a shot in the second half. We'd have been blown out of our own building because we just can't hit. And also,
you're right. I mean, that's the thing that can keep you in a basketball game. If you can't score, you can keep the other team from scoring.
Yeah, and working on defense and working on getting to the boards, the fans will get behind the team if they will show effort to try. We will root for them, and sometimes we will try to be whatever puts them over the top. That was a good effort by the team, great effort by the team, Grady, but it's also good effort by the fans to find something to get behind their team to root for.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. How are you going to be taking in baseball season this next year, Bobby?
TV, radio, I'll be listening to a lot of Phil Elson. And that's never a bad option. That's a good way. This stuff Phil and Bob call ball games. Pretty good way to follow a ball game. But, if you get your phone in front of you and you sit on the couch, I think you know more than the people who are actually at the game or even coaching the game or playing the game. Because those are the guys that are the experts on everything.
That's exactly right. Isn't that how it always works? Bobby, it's good to hear from you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you got it. 877-377-6963. Well, I was at Bubba's facility yesterday. Matt, when the show was over and before I wrapped all the equipment up, I went back into the cage, and Bubba tells me I'm not coachable. But I'm here to tell you, I made myself coachable yesterday. He's been telling me when I hit these power ground balls is because I always make contact with my arms completely extended. I mean, that's kind of the way I learned to hit. So I have to rethink things, and I go up for 5 hacks on the tee before I left the facility yesterday. And I'm thinking, well, keep that front elbow bent just a little bit. You know what I did? I had a couple of drives that might have actually made it to the warning track and a couple of line drives that the pitcher would have caught. Was happy with it.
Ooh, I'd like to see Phil Elson round first, and then just don't pull that hammy, Phil. Don't pop up, man. Let's take it in going to second base.
So, if I dive in head first to first base or second base, I'm going to be bouncing my chin on that thing a couple of times. And my rib cage feels a little bit tight today. That happens at 48 when you don't stretch. We go into the third hour of halftime. Brett Dolan will be joining us at 1:15, so we're wide open for you. If you want to get on, it's 877-377-6963. Stay with us here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio. Simon, what's going on post-Christmas?
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at WheelerPowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, and onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite, now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. A high this afternoon will be in the upper 40s at north, mid 40s south. Clear and cold overnight, lows in the mid to upper teens overnight. Friday, we're right back to sunshine. Our high on Friday in the lower 40s. And then Saturday, partly sunny skies, a high upper 40s to near 50. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that can respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well,
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back in. Halftime rolling on. 1 minute after 1 o'clock. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson. My partner, Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston is producing. I guess we'll be playing Where in the World is Brent Dole in about 15 minutes. He'll be joining us for a weekly segment. We're open for you now if you want. And for most of the hour as well at 877-377-6963. We've kicked around a lot on the Arkansas win over the Georgia Bulldogs coming up. What do you think that means in the near future? Is this a spark? Is this a blueprint to how the Razorbacks can win basketball games, or is this just sort of a one-off? Hopefully it's not a one-off. I don't think it will be the way they played yesterday. I think, against a team like Oklahoma, you're probably going to need to get into the 70s. I think at some point the shot's going to start falling. You're not going to have too many 1-for-10s for Nellie Davis, although there have been a couple of other games where it's been nearly close to it. But, hey, that's another aspect to take from yesterday's win is you had a guy that should be scoring, I think, 15 to 20 points a game for you. He only scored 9, but he did plenty of other things to win a basketball game. And now it's all about what happens in the future. I feel like we've looked back to yesterday a lot. There are some things to hit on in the future, and hopefully it all comes together Saturday, and you can, it's another thing from, well, this one would be from the movie Major League, because it's the baseball movies, I think, that have some of the best lines. You win another one, it's actually called a streak. And then maybe you can turn it into 3 in a row. But I'm at the point where I'm not going to worry about the 5 minutes and then the 5 minutes and then the 5 minutes. Don't look ahead to the road trip or to the Kentucky game coming up, because it's all about Saturday against OU. And, it's a team, Matt, that struggles to get into the 70s. Without Boogie, I think that can be a problem. But if you get 13 points from Carter Knox, Nelly gets you into the double digits, Adu scores more than 5, maybe you could get into the 70s.
We played an LSU team. We didn't play very good. We just beat a Georgia team, and now we're going to play Oklahoma. Those are all three about on the same par right there. Those are all three teams that maybe one of those teams is going to make the NCAA tournament, but when you look at Georgia, LSU, Oklahoma, those aren't very good. These are teams we should beat when you're on your home floor. So it's not like Oklahoma's going to be more athletic than us. So go out there, play your game, hit some shots. It starts and ends with the defensive play. That's the whole thing. Can you get stops? Can you play defense? And if we can do that, we had moments last night against Georgia. Georgia's not that good, and same with LSU, same with Oklahoma. So these are teams that we should beat. I would say out of Georgia, LSU, Oklahoma, maybe one of those teams make the NCAA tournament, but two of those teams, those aren't very good teams.
What do you make of Adu on the offensive side? Because it's yesterday, it's not like he's going to be able to create his own too much. There was some post up. Just not falling very much. I feel like they're looking to get the ball inside. They did with Z, and how about the little hook shot that Z showed yesterday? Though I think he's going to score a little bit more from the outside than the inside. We focus so much on Davis and what we haven't seen from him offensively, and I think there's more for Adu offensively, because it's not like he's a focus, but you got to get more than 5. From Adu. And then the other aspect, too, is if he's going to be out there, you got to get more than 4 rebounds. So that's the next player that you'd like to, that I think has to step up. If yesterday's win is a spark, then it's got to be a spark to Adu as well.
BMOC, big man on campus. He is the big man on campus, so let's play like it. Let's play, on the defensive side, there should be never a time when Jonas Adu has his hands by his hips. I mean, he should always have his hands above his head. He should be that vocal leader, telling people where it is. That's where he needs to be, the defensive cornerstone. Then the offense, we don't run a lot of plays for him, but you can run some pick and slides. He learn how to move without the ball a little bit better. He does play a little stiff. When you look at Asa Newell, their freshman big, he's got ball skills, so he's not that type of player. So play defense, rebounds. Like I said, they don't run a lot of plays for him, but when they do, take your time, throw the little hook over the shoulder. He can do that. I'm a fan of his. I like his game. It's the last couple of games, though, it seems like he hasn't played 30 minutes total, I don't think, in the last 2 or 3 games. So for some reason, Trevin Brazile only 11 minutes, Adu 17 minutes this last game. Whatever it's kind of calling for. But I like his game, man. I like Jonas Adu.
I thought it was the best that Z's looked in a conference game as well. So little baby steps for him as you move forward. And now there's only one winless team in SEC play, and it's South Carolina. And you get OU 1-4, and then Kentucky 3-2 coming up.
Well, we're about to go back, and we talk about this in football. It's how many bowl teams can you beat? And that's the same thing. LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma aren't making the NCAA tournament. So you kind of got to beat those teams. If you don't, that's where you are. So we're going to play another team that they're going to be a bubble, edgy, iffy type of team in Oklahoma if they make it. Right now you're 1-1 against those teams, so you got to have a winning record against teams that aren't going to make the tournament.
I wouldn't bury Georgia just yet. I mean, they do have wins over. They got a win over Kentucky, and now look, that's early in the SEC season. Maybe it's a one-off kind of a thing. It's the only team with a winning record in this league that they've beaten. But Kentucky's been playing some pretty good basketball, and even with an RPI of 20 or a net ranking of 29, Georgia, they may end up. That's the thing. It's like, what, 7-8 wins in the SEC. It wasn't going to get you into the tournament previously, but it will now. I guess the question would be for Georgia, same as Arkansas, is where do those wins come from? I'm not going through their schedule. We went through the Razorback schedule in that case. All right. We got. I saw this. The NFL MVP finalists have been announced, Matt. No surprise on any of them. Lamar, Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley. Who do you think here? I mean, I'd be looking between Lamar and Barkley, I think. Lamar's got a couple of them. I think his numbers are the best when it comes to the quarterbacks, but I think it's pretty difficult to overlook Barkley and the idea that, towards the end of the season when Jalen Hurts got hurt, that they kept winning games, and Barkley's a major reason why.
There's no wrong answer to answer your question. First off, Phil, any one of those three guys is definitely deserving. I understand the concept of it's a quarterback award, which I don't necessarily agree with it. Same thing with the Heisman. It shouldn't just go to the quarterback on the team that won the most games. But Lamar Jackson, what he's doing stuff that we haven't seen before. Josh Allen, elite level, probably his best season. I got to give it to Saquon Barkley. When I look at what Jalen Hurts is and that team, I mean, Saquon, that was unbelievable, the year he had and what he's been doing, and being able to be so consistent. I would give it to Saquon first, but maybe there's a little bit where if Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson split some votes where Saquon gets all the second place votes and a couple first place, and then you're kind of doing first and third. So I don't know how the voters are going to vote, but I know all three of those guys are very deserving. And how much do you have fatigue of Lamar Jackson? How much does it matter that he doesn't he goes missing in the playoffs, and it's not his fault. It is and it isn't. He turned the ball over that led to 10 points in that game. He did bring him back down and hit Mark Andrews in the chest, and he wasn't able to catch it. But that was just to go to overtime, so you don't know what would have happened. I think any one of those three guys deserve it.
I like your attitude about it, that there isn't a wrong vote, because there's so often people end up telling you that you're a moron for picking this guy over that guy. And I mean, when you're fine, I don't really think. Sometimes it's clear cut. Sometimes it's obvious. This is not one of those years, and I'm thinking about Saquon a little bit here. Allen's terrific. It's not to take anything away from him, but Lamar had, I think, a better season overall numbers wise. But Lamar also had Derrick Henry in the backfield with him. I mean, if it wasn't for Saquon, we'd be talking about Derrick Henry having one of the greatest seasons in NFL history for a running back. I mean, he finished 69 yards short of 2,000. But it's Barkley that's getting all the talk, and he did it in 16 games. If I had a vote, I would be voting for Barkley. And maybe part of it is I like the idea of the running back that was cast aside and basically told, no, you're not worth what you think you're worth. It's proven that he is worth it, and the MVP would be just the cherry on the top of that. I would enjoy that. I wonder what some of our other listeners think on it. 877-377-6963 if you want to get in on the NFL Most Valuable Player conversation. Brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, a dealership that served our listening audience for over 70 years. You find Crabtree right where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma. It's right beside the Cracker Barrel. Your family will have the best experience choosing an RV for your adventures. There is a service and parts department on site and everything you need at Crabtree RV. Online at crabtreerv.com. All right, it looks like we got Cecil who has called us up. So before the break, let's talk with Cecil, and then we'll break. Cecil, what's going on? How are you?
What's up, fellas?
No.
Man, we got that win, and I'm happy that we won. That's a confidence builder. We just got to win again and build more confidence. Matt, Phil, you was talking about Adu. Adu, I don't know, man. My opinion, man, he's just not. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say about Adu. I mean, he did a few good things, but his numbers are very low to be a 7-footer. He averaged 4.8 rebounds and 4 points, but Kendrick Perkins got drafted. He went I want to say he went in the first pick, and that's all he ever drafted his whole career. I mean, that was all his stats was. That was his whole career stats. 5.3 and 4 rebounds a game. That was it. And he's on TV still. So, but Big Z played a really pretty good game. I like Big C. I'm a Big C fan. He's 7'2", and he's gonna make them change the shot. And Arkansas played really good defense. And if we just hustle every game like that, we can win some ball games, Phil and Matt. We can really win some games. But we got to. Again, that was a confidence building. I'm sure they're going to go in Saturday. I'll probably be at that game. And I'm sure more people will come too, but instead of just sitting home watching it. But, yeah, I think we're going to do okay, man. And this morning they was talking about 6 wins. I'm sure we can win 6 more games. We'll be all right, man.
What they need, Cecil, what they need, and appreciate the phone call. It's always good to hear from you. It's not that Adu has to be the exact same player he was last year. He just has to be something like it. 11.5 points, 7.3 rebounds last year. The scoring is nearly cut in half. The rebounding is, about 2/3 of what he did, and he's not on the floor for as much. 9 points a game from Adu, 10 points a game. I really think you're trying to get somewhere into the mid-70s as a team, and that means you need more than the 8 points a game from Nelly Davis, and he was scoring 10 more points a game last year. Get him to 12, get him to 13. I think we'd be talking about something different. It's not, Matt, they don't have to be the exact players they were last year. They just have to be something like they were last year. Slowly but surely, hopefully it comes. It's just, it's been fits and starts. And if there is going to be success in the future, and maybe, just against Oklahoma on Saturday, you need a little bit more from Nelly, you need a little bit more from Adu, and maybe in the future that leads to a lot more.
I feel like Wagner's close to breaking out and having like a 30-point game. I really do. And he just be a little bit more efficient, as tough and as physical as he is. So I think Wagner's close. As far as Janelle Davis, I don't know. He went 0 for 8 from the 3-point line the other day, went 1 for 10 last night. Yeah, keep shooting it, I guess. But I think I like what you said earlier, Phil, is let's be the best at everything else. Let's play defense. Let's don't turn the ball over. Let's rebound, and hopefully the shot will fall. And I think that should be collective. I think that should be collectively through the guys that play. Let's make sure we play defense. Let's don't have any sloppy. This team takes care of the ball kind of halfway decent. There's some turnovers here and there, but we're not that sloppy with it. And then continue to get on the boards. That's the reason we won this game against Georgia, is we out-rebounded them by 10. If we would have got out-rebounded by 10, I don't think it would have been in our favor.
Stay with us. Brett Dolan stops by right after this on Halftime.
It's up to them how they want this season to be. If they want to turn it around this week, we can. And if you don't, they better be going to class.
This is Halftime.
Bud Walton Arena, where it is about as loud as a building could get. The loudest arena to start a game I've ever been in.
This is a hard place. You don't come here expecting to win. Let me tell you that.
The name, the brand, the identity that he brings to a program that has a storied, rich tradition, an outstanding fan base in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door
Thanks
shop.
for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Third hour Thursday here on Halftime means we go to the phones, and Brett Dolan is with us today, and that always means this segment starts with a question. Where in the world is Brett Dolan today? Brett, where are you?
I am here in Fayetteville between trips last week to Georgia and this week to Arizona, but I'm here the full week, so you should be happy.
All right. Well, I may have to stop asking that question for a bit because I think that might be 2 weeks in a row you've answered the question exactly the same way. Hey, before we get into basketball and even Arkansas baseball, I wanted to bring up the Hall of Fame inductees that were just anointed the other day. And I thought I saw something on your Twitter feed about calling an early game in Billy Wagner's career. Now, the thing about Wagner is I think he's one of 3 pitchers that's in the Hall that never made a start in the major leagues. But I think you saw him as a starter in the minors, right?
I did. It was my first ever game as a full-time minor league guy, so that's been 100 years ago. Now, he may have had a couple of games in Rookie Ball the year before, but he was the starter on opening day in my first real professional minor league game. So that was 1994, by the way. So it was Quad Cities and Beloit in the Midwest League, and it was kind of fun because he was such a little guy, and at that time he was throwing, 95, 96, and people didn't throw that back then, let alone everybody who throws it now. So it just kind of gave me a glimpse into who is this guy, and it was kind of fun to watch him go through his career. And we didn't know if he was going to quite make the Hall of Fame. I think some of the recent numbers and analytics have reflected well on Billy, and he got his chance in his 10th and final chance on the ballot, in addition to a couple of no-brainers, I guess, with Ichiro and CC.
I want to open this up a little bit more with you, too, because I think Wagner may have the fewest innings pitched of any Hall of Fame pitcher. And it's the same idea. You get the argument about relief pitchers and specifically closers that you do for designated hitters. Well, they're just a failed starter, just like a DH is a failed position player. But it's like, well, I mean, it's still a position, and these are still really important aspects to the game. And if you're going to have that position, well, you need to respect the ones who are the best at this. And, maybe do you think that Wagner going in may end up leading to more closers going into the Hall of Fame because there just aren't that many of them?
Well, I think it's possible. Now, there's a couple of things. He's, I believe, 8th or 9th on the all-time saves list, and that might be the first red flag to some off the top that he's not Hall of Fame worthy when you compare him to Rivera and Hoffman. What the Astros did with some of his other former teams have done is they go back and they look at a couple of things. Strikeouts per innings pitched, hits to innings pitched. And when you do the rankings, there's 2 names there. It's Rivera and it's Wagner. And sometimes it's Wagner and Rivera. So I think when you start to look at the absolute elite as far as strikeouts, limiting base runners, having the success, then when you're in the category with Rivera, and we know he's a no-doubt Hall of Famer, I think he missed perfection by 1 vote, then that certainly elevates Billy's candidacy, and I think it makes a lot more sense if you just go beyond the number of saves that he put up. And the other thing, Phil, is he pitched in an era that was the most hitter-friendly era, I think, probably in baseball, going back to the steroids and the inflated numbers and whatnot. He, on the other end, was very dominant in his innings at the back end of the bullpen.
What did you think of Ichiro falling 1 vote short of unanimous? Because I don't care, to be honest. I mean, if so Mariano made it in on 100%. It's not like he's not going into the Hall of Fame. Why focus on the 1 vote? And it's also, look, Ichiro belongs in the Hall of Fame, but I could probably name, I don't know, another 10 or 15 or maybe even 20 outfielders that I would take on a team before him. And those guys did not get in unanimously either, so it just doesn't rile me up. It riles some people up.
It probably doesn't rile me up. Obviously, I think anytime you're over 95%, not only are you a Hall of Famer, you're an elite Hall of Famer if there's a different category of greatness. But when you combine his totals between Japan and the U.S., he had more hits than Pete Rose, but he was also an MVP in his first big league season. He had double-digit Gold Gloves. So many things that he did will probably never be chased as far as whether it's the combined numbers between Japan and the U.S. or just the fact that he had more than 3,000 hits when he spent nearly a decade playing pro ball before he got to the U.S. So, he had an incredible run, and he's also a guy a little bit different than our current era players. He didn't hit a ton of home runs, but he did pretty much everything else.
Brett, before I ask you a basketball question, I want to get your thoughts on this Sunday's NFC Championship game and AFC Championship game. I mean, the Eagles and the Redskins are Commanders. Who would have thought it with Jaden Daniels leading the team as a rookie? How do you see that one going? And knowing that those 2 teams, divisional teams, they split during the regular season.
It's getting to the point, Matt, where you watch the Commanders with a great deal of interest because of Jaden Daniels and what he's able to do and how he looks poised beyond his years. The other concern is we don't know if Jalen Hurts is completely healthy, and I'm starting to lean more and more Commanders on this only because it just feels like they're on quite a ride. And I know it's year 1 for Daniels, and it's hard to turn around an organization that quickly, but what they did in Detroit was really impressive, and I'm not so sure they can't do it again. And the AFC may be a little bit different. I think we've been anticipating this matchup for a long time. The Ravens are pretty good. The Texans aren't terrible, but it's been kind of this collision course between the Bills and the Chiefs. And I thought the Texans would play the Chiefs better because of the weeks that their starters hadn't played, and really their defense, I think, did give them problems. But the Chiefs, again, find ways to make big plays at big moments when their opponents don't. I don't know if the Bills will succumb to that. I would probably lean Buffalo. I feel like maybe this is their year, but, to knock off the king, you got to go to his house and do it. You got to knock him down, and that's been the area that teams have struggled. But I hate to say I'd take the two road teams on this, Matt, but I might be leaning in that direction.
There was I saw a clip earlier talking about Michael Jordan and just the Hall of Famers. I know we're talking about the Hall of Fame, but you look back to Karl Malone. He made more All-Pros, 14 in the NBA, than any other player in the history of the game not to win an NBA championship. Sir Charles wasn't able to do it as well. You think of John Stockton, Patrick Ewing. I wonder, with Patrick Mahomes and this Josh, do you feel like, even if it's not this year, that we still kind of think, well, Josh Allen's going to get there and get him one. But, man, what Patrick Mahomes is doing is just absolutely legendary.
It is, and he just continues to do it, even as it feels like aspects of that team continue to get older. And there's nothing more hard to define sometimes than a window to win a championship, and how hard it is to extend that when teams get older and you lose a few pieces and you jump into free agency and whatnot. They keep getting it done, and they keep finding a way to do that. And Josh Allen, if the end of his career he has to say, yeah, but I had to go in the era of Pat Mahomes, that's why I didn't get to Super Bowls or win championships, it'll probably further bolster that argument that there's been one team that's been by far more dominant than anybody else. And when you start to look at the number of postseason wins they have, I mean, it's crazy to think of what they might finish at if they can keep this thing going for another year or two. And again, I kind of feel like maybe it's the Bills' year to knock them off, but maybe I'm just being contrarian because the Chiefs keep winning so many of these games.
Razorback basketball team, welcome to the party. We got a seat at the table, got a victory, come from behind victory over Georgia. Things kind of settled down before this Saturday game against Oklahoma. If you're an Arkansas fan, is there any hope, or are we still trying to wait for another week?
Well, I think you're right. It's good to get that win and get off the pressure cooker that is an 0-for start to the conference play. I mean, that was gritty. That was not pretty. And I think if they're going to win games going forward, it's going to have to be more grit and less pretty because they can't score 70 points. I mean, that number is hanging out there. It looked like they were going to be at 66 yesterday, but maybe that's the formula. It's just to get to the free throw line if they can. They're not going to make many shots. I think Janelle and Wagner were both 3 for 14. That's probably not going to get it done from a scoring standpoint in absence of Boogie Flan. But, they found a way, Matt. The one thing I don't know, and we'll find out probably this weekend and going forward, how much do we attribute Arkansas playing hard? They played harder than Georgia in the second half, and how much do we attribute the fact that Georgia couldn't make a 3 in the second half? They missed 2 free throws on 2 trips. They had the worst turnover I've ever seen coming out of a timeout in front of your coach. And I have no clue what that was at the end of the game with 4 guys standing there watching Zero get a rebound and put back. If you're a coach, you have to think, my goodness, we did everything we could to collapse and lose the game. But then again, Arkansas, in some aspects, took it, including, big block from Zero with about a minute and a half to go, which I felt like might have won the game.
Like Mike White post-game with, do you guys realize what the score was and how much time was on the clock? I'm just checking because I don't think you did. All right, I got to get a baseball thought on you here. I was trying to read into the rearranging of the Razorback base coaches with Warnes at third and Hudson Polk being at first and Nate in the dugout. But I do think that this means something. I think it means that Dave wants somebody to bounce ideas off of. I think that means you may be looking at a more aggressive approach on offense. And I like the idea of a catcher actually being the first base coach because he knows pitchers' tendencies and knows what to look at in terms of someone throwing over and all the timing and everything. And Bobby's already been a third base coach in the minors, so I think this will work out.
It was unique when I heard it, and I was over in that building all day that day, interviewing players and whatnot. I actually had to come back and read Pat Jones's article to learn that. But you're right. Bobby's done that. He's coached third base before in the minor leagues and the pro ranks. And I think we've seen other hitting coaches start to do this, though, Phil, that they want to be in the dugout to talk to hitters. And whether it's the constant pitching changes or the amount of time they spend looking at video or analytics or printouts or whatnot, it's a little bit easier to do between at-bats if you're in the dugout, not waiting for a pitching change. We kept seeing Nate run over and talk to his dugout and pull out that giant wad of papers and start to talk to his guys in the on-deck circle when a new pitcher would come in the game. Now I guess he can do a little more of that without having to jog back and forth, and he can do it in the course of a game, not just during between-inning breaks or pitching changes.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, Brett. It's coming up. Or you're in countdown mode, right? I mean, Brett's like me. He can do any sport. He can talk about any sport. But when it comes right down to it, in your heart, you're a baseball guy, and it's great to admit that.
Well, I get that. I interviewed 9 guys the other day, Phil, 9 Razorbacks, and that kind of got me even more fired up as it would you. I think Sunday I'm going to see the Arizona Wildcats scrimmage in Tucson for about 3 hours because I've got them in the College Classic at Minute Maid. So, yeah, I'm kind of getting in already. I'm going to try and see some scrimmages this weekend just to get me further in that mode.
I hear that excitement in your voice. I really do, because I have the same thought. It's always good to have you on here, Brett. Thanks a lot, and I guess I'll ask, where are you again next Thursday?
Well, I'll have an answer. I'll have a different answer for you next Thursday, I promise.
Okay, good. That means I'll ask the question again the week after. It's Brett Dolan with us on Thursdays here on Halftime. Home stretch time. You can call us. You can text us, 877-377-6963. Make sure you download the Hit That Line Now app. It features all the audio from all of our shows, all the video from all of our shows, and all the podcasts. And it's brought to you by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay. Try it today. Participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Taco Bell has you covered. And stay tuned as halftime's in the home stretch. And we're back after this.
Come on, say it. I mean, they're calling Bud Walton a cathedral church now. I mean, come on.
This is Halftime.
It's time to start the year strong at Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine. Don't miss our first huge sale in 2025, featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides, like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, closed side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side-by-sides are 16 years and older.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
The Capital One pre-approval sale has been extended at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal. Troy, the weather a few weeks ago kind of derailed the sale, but you've got it extended now through the end of the month.
Yes, Capital One was nice enough, man. They worked with us, and they extended this sale until the end of this month, the 31st, which is on a Friday. So come and see us, Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford. You know, we pride ourselves in the prices and the deals that we give our customers. You know, we want to make sure you get the best deal on a car, not just with us, not just with the price of the car, but the best deal with the bank that you finance with. And with Capital One giving us this pre-approval sale and allowing us to extend it, you don't just get the best price on the car, but you get the best financing on the car too. So come and see us and let us get you the best deal on a new Ford.
It's the Capital One pre-approval sale only at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal. Come and see all the details right here. You can always see the inventory online at harryrobinson.com.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back here for the home stretch of halftime, just a couple of segments left. We can take your calls, we can take your texts. 877-377-6963. Pardon me for clearing my throat there. It was a week ago, Matt, that the assignment for halftime homework was sent over to C-Real. And have you seen him eating any grape nuts over the last couple of days?
I can't do it.
I'd rather sounded like surrender.
I'd rather eat the box.
Like defeat.
I might just eat the box instead.
It's pretty much the same ingredients.
Yeah. I mean, it can't taste much worse.
That sounded like somebody that has been beaten, Matt. That sounded like somebody that was down by 15 points in the first half and let go of the rope and gave up.
Well, it sounds like somebody who's not hungry enough.
That's exactly right.
You get hungry enough, you'll go eat it.
If I was starving
there
and
you go.
about to die, I might be able to eat some
You'll
of it.
sit at the table until you finish your dinner.
Yeah. Were you forced to do that? I was forced every once in a while to do that.
I'd get a dinner, and I didn't want Brussels sprouts or I didn't want something. So it's like, well, you're going to sit. So everybody would eat, and I'd sit there and cry. And then 4 hours later, I'd have to eat it cold. It's like, they wasn't like you were going to get, parents were like, no, you're going to eat that. You can either eat it now or you can wait 4 hours and then eat it in 4 hours.
So, C-Real, you can either eat the grape nuts by tomorrow, or you can just stay in the studio until you finish them. I mean, you're going to have to wait all weekend long. I don't know if you're on Hog Reaction on Saturday after the basketball game, but you might as well just, go home, get Asher, bring a couple of changes of clothing. I mean, there's a shower in the station, and then just something to sleep on, and one bowl and a little bit of milk, and there you go. And the next thing you know, he'll be there Monday when you show up, Matt, and he wouldn't have left. I don't blame you for not wanting to eat it.
Stomach, man.
I just think if you cared, you'd do it. You'd have done it. That just means to me, Matt, he doesn't care enough to actually put the effort forward.
No,
to
it just
eat
means
the
it's
worst
disgusting.
cereal on earth.
It's disgusting, man. I don't know that I want to. I don't know that I want to do it that bad. To be honest, it's just so nasty.
There won't be another time that you're purchasing the Post grape nuts in your life, is what you're
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. Like I probably won't ever think about them again, or I won't even. Every time I see them,
just throw some walnuts and green grapes in a bowl and call it good. But I do think that we wouldn't want to, force you to sit there and eat it. My parents once did that, and they didn't do it all the time. They weren't like, all right, clean your plate off all the time. But the one food, and I'm not a picky eater, but the one thing that I could not stomach as a kid are cooked carrots. And I think more than anything, it was the way that we cooked vegetables back then. Now, we were talking 35, 38 years ago. Brussels sprouts back then were not cooked the way that they're cooked now. And so they were steamed into oblivion. They were just basically wet green balls that were tasteless. It's not like that anymore. Cooked carrots aren't like that anymore, but back then it was just steamed with butter and salt on it. And I think I was trying to make a point with my parents when this happened, so I made a big deal out of eating them and actually made myself throw up. So they never did that again. That's the way to get out of being forced to eat your food, is if you make yourself sick at the table. Matt, that's what you should have done all those years ago.
I've never been very smart.
Well, maybe you just haven't been very gross. I think that's probably what I might have over you in that case. Dan in Mount Ida said you gave him child flashbacks here. I think we got a lot of listeners right now who remember sitting at that table for 4 hours, watching food get cold and realizing, I got to go to sleep at some point, so I might as well eat this.
Ice cream. We all scream for oatmeal.
Joel says the secret to grape nuts is letting them marinate in the milk. I do not want marinated grape nuts.
If you got to do all that, just don't buy it.
I can't treat grape nuts like a steak and marinate it in anything. Just let it sit in milk for a while, but I don't want mushiness. You need some of the crunch. And the problem is finding the delicate balance between mushiness that makes you gag and crunchiness that causes pain. There's some little bit of joy and fun in the middle there, but it's a very small, tiny middle. Chris doesn't want halftime homework to be too unpleasant. He's right, or he'll just stop doing the homework like Ty did all those years ago. I would assign Ty this movie or that movie or this show and that food, and he wouldn't do it.
I'm not picky, actually. Like I'll try most stuff, and
well, you also care, and Ty obviously just didn't care ever about halftime homework once he stopped doing it. Dan in Mount Ida said cream spinach. That was a no-go for him. I could do the cream spinach as long as the cream has some flavor to it. That'd be okay. Caleb wants to know about the new baseball jerseys. What do we think about those? I think they look nice. I think they look great. They look like they did, 20 years ago? Those jerseys look terrific. I'm fine with them. You got the Arkansas that's on the old-style lettering. You got the Razorbacks underneath. It's kind of on that little underline and no number on the front. You got the uniform number on the back. Looks great. Hopefully we'll still keep the cream colors because I love how those look on Sundays.
Yeah, I was going to say, what all colors do they come in? Do they come in blue?
Not this year.
Not this year. That's a weird. The Arkansas Razorbacks are red and white. That's just weird. I didn't know that. For all these years, I didn't know our colors were red and white.
Had we even pointed out the irony of one of the better players on the team for the opponent yesterday of the first name Blue?
That's the unit's boy right there, man. He's going to take him in the fantasy draft next year.
Oh my!
Blue Cane was C Unit's cooked carrots. That's like his grape nuts here. I think. What do you like less, grape nuts or Blue Cane?
I think I felt like he was gonna. I think maybe grape nuts. I think I felt like Blue Cane was gonna end up being the kryptonite. Is why I was kind of getting mad. It's like, man. He's hitting these shots. This might be the guy that is the Hogs.
Best thing that happened to the Hogs last night besides the victory unit was when him and Adu got into it and he fouled out because he was their best shooter and you lose him a little bit. But that was what was that? Like the last 4-6 minutes, that dude was.
I don't
fouled
think
out?
I've ever seen a moment of a basketball game, Matt, where it literally looked like the two guys were playing a game of Twister.
Well, they kind of stopped it. They're both kind of that type of player. Like you're not going to punk number 3. Like you're just not going to. And a dude, I mean, the white kid, Blue, he's kind of like Cortland Finnegan, if you remember. He's just an instigator. And he's just kind of always poking and prodding, and when he's on your team, you dig it. But you're not number 3. Nobody's punking that dude, man. That's our dude. That's our cat.
I saw left hand green, right foot blue, left foot red.
Got to see right elbow teeth.
Yeah, I was pretty close to it. That's happened quite a bit in some Twister games, especially if you're talking about very competitive people. Stay with us. Back to wrap up halftime right after this quick break.
I just had to call in, man. I don't know how many thousands of hours I've listened to y'all.
This is halftime.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Discover the ultimate adventure at the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo on February 6th through the 9th at the Rogers Convention Center. Check out a vast array of boats by the finest boat dealers in the area. Learn from experts, test out the latest equipment, and gain insight that will take your adventure to new heights. This show is the perfect place to see all the boat brands at the same time and compare. The Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo, February 6th through the 9th at the Rogers Convention Center, where your next adventure begins.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jazzco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jazzco. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Place your feet on solid ground. Get up now. Friends coming down, who's got you now? Those obstacles ahead, they don't disappear if you stay trapped inside your head. So get on out and face yourself. Get on out. And live for you, baby. You gotta live for yourself. Get up now. Place your feet on solid ground. Get up now.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Charlie texted the thing he can't eat: cucumbers and corn together. It's nothing about those two things that would make me sick. I love cucumbers. I love corn. Maybe it's the seasonings that went into them, Charlie.
What's that dish? It's cucumbers, tomatoes, and some type of like jasmine rice in a mint or something. You get it when you go to like a sushi place or man, that's one of the best things. I always get that.
I can work with cucumbers in just about anything. Absolutely anything. It's one of those vegetables that works in a good alcoholic beverage. It works really, really well. Robert says meatloaf. Somebody just wasn't making it for you properly, I think. That'd be my question.
Nothing's finer than this mutton. Got some mutton going on.
Ooh. Was that Man Hands that fed him mutton too?
It was close, but it was the ones with the dog. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Man Hands opens the beer for him when they're out there at the thing. He's like, that's not a twist off.
I think mutton may be one of those things I wouldn't eat.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't want it. Yeah.
But it's also because of what it's called. The word mutton to me does not sound very, very appetizing. Kind of like head cheese for some people. It's not a thing you're going to eat based upon the sound of the food.
But it's very moist, so it helps.
Ooh, well, that doesn't bother me.
It doesn't
I know
bother
it bothers.
me.
Yeah, so a little bit of that moist cake.
Moist, yeah.
Does it bother you, C-Unit?
Moist head cheese.
I try my hardest not to use it. If I ever use it, I'm desperate and I can't find another word.
Did I just hear you say moist head cheese? I don't know if there have been two more gross words put next to each other legally here on this station. That was well done. I applaud your efforts, Matt Jones. I can appreciate that kind of thing. Thank you very much. Oh, man. Yeah, and then there's Ty, and it's like you would wonder, all right, well, what will you not eat, Ty? And the words would come out of his mouth, and the words are mac and cheese. And you think,
it's a joke.
What is wrong? Yeah, no, it's not a joke with him. He means it.
Man,
he really means it.
Get your own noodles, and well, you get whatever noodles you want, but you get you a little bit of butter and a little bit of that whole milk, and then get your own cheese off the blocks, a couple different kinds, and make your own mac and cheese. You can use a little bit of that powder if you want, but if you make that mac and cheese right, oh my goodness.
Stay tuned for the Matt Jones and Phil Elson cooking show coming up later on tonight here on your home for sports and for food. Yeah, it's the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out shortly. We appreciate them for sponsoring the Halftime Podcast going on 3 years now. Download it anywhere you download your podcasts. Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a few moments. And we'll do this over again tomorrow. So, for Matt Jones and for Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. We appreciate you listening today. Thanks for your calls and your texts, too. That's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services at Long Life Attic Pest Control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. A high this afternoon will be in the upper 40s, north, mid-40s south. Clear and cold overnight, lows in the mid to upper teens overnight. Friday, we're right back to sunshine. Our high on Friday in the lower 40s. And then Saturday, partly sunny skies, a high upper 40s to near 50. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KER